This is Canvas. I'm going to walk through how to make a quiz in Canvas. It can be somewhat a cumbersome process, but Canvas is super powerful, so it's an important tool to know how to do. Alright, so here we are. I already clicked on quizzes. I'm in a class, and I'm going to click the Add a Quiz button up here. Alright, and so the page that we're on, obviously we just want to give our quiz a name, and I'm going to be creative. That's a lie. Example quiz shall be my quiz's name. Okay, and we can add a description. Do not cheat will be my description. Fairly straightforward there. Quiz type, I am going to leave it as graded. If you have assignment groups, that's, well, where you can do it. I usually will select shuffle answers, right? It makes it more difficult for students to, accidentally cheat. And maybe we want a time limit, class is 50 minutes long. I don't need them trying to take it after class, so maybe I put something like that. All right, allow multiple attempts if you want that. I do not. And then here's also an important section. Let students see their quiz responses. Incorrect questions will be marked in student feedback. If students are all doing it at the same time, this is fine. It's very nice for them to understand what they have gotten wrong. But you want to be careful with that. Only one attempt, only once after each attempt. Let students see the correct answers. Show one question at a time also limits cheating. All right, so we have all of this. Let me just to be safe, I'll save my settings. This quiz is unpublished, we know. Edit. And now I'm going to head over to, well, I guess the meat and potatoes, the questions. All right. So I'm going to start with, we could do a question group. And what a question group will allow us to do, it allows us to randomize the order of questions. Okay. So I might actually use that. And let me show you why. I'm going to hit new question group. And this group is going to be, my questions about HTML tags, right? So I'll do a quiz about code. Or maybe, to keep this simple, color questions. All right, so let's create a group, okay? And I want these questions to be a bit randomized. So now let's add a question to our group. And the power of this, question, multiple choice, yep. All right, and we can put something else here if we would like to have a nice title. Multiple choice, and I'm going to say, what is Mr. Kaiser's favorite color? And then here are our answers. So maybe I put green, we'll say. It's either green or purple, red, blue, and yellow. Okay? And here's going to be the options for the student to pick. Obviously, the correct answer is right here. I'm going to hit update question, ta-da, and there we are. Now, I'm going to add another question, and we'll leave this. What's the question? What is Mr. Endless Creativity, I know, second favorite color? Okay. And then down here, we'll say that one is purple, and maybe I want to put different colors throughout here, so pink, orange, and teal, okay? And update question. And what these will do is question groups will allow us to edit. So questions, pick one question, 1 point per question. So when 2 students take this, or 10, it's going to randomly present only one of these questions to them. That way students will actually have slightly different questions. And I can add more questions to this group. Maybe I put 5 questions in this group, and I want 3 of those to appear. So it will randomize what questions actually appear for the student. So each student might have a few different actual questions available to them. So question groups are actually super helpful to make sure students don't have identical questions or identical quizzes all the time. It can limit cheating or even limit the desire to cheat because it increases the difficulty of such a thing. Okay. Now that we have that, maybe I just want to add a regular question now down here. And what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to add a question that allows for a variable. I'm going to add a question that allows a variable to be part of it. And it can allow for multiple answers, the possibility of a different answer possibly for each student. And I'll show you what. Instead of multiple choice, we want a formula question. And a formula question allows you to vary the answer to your question. And I'll show you what I mean. So what we want, you can define a variable by typing variable's name, surrounding it by bracket. So their example is, what is 5 plus x? And actually that sounds good to me. So what is, let's be slightly original, 3 plus, and then my variable is going to be x, question mark. Okay? And then with this variable, and I can have multiple variables. Let's go ahead and do that. My next variable is going to be cow. Okay? So now I have 2 variables. What is, might as well just make that an addition sign. Okay. Now, this can randomize the answers for students. So I want x to be a number between 1 and 3, we'll say. And then I want cow to be a number between 5 and 10. Okay? Decimal places. And so example value, 2 or 9. Well, that would make sense. That falls within these. Recompute. And it is inclusive, right? So 1 or 6. 10 or 1. 3 or 10. 5 or 1. And then that means that the answer for these is going to be varied. So 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 5 is 9. This allows for variance in the actual answer to a question, provides some unpredictability on the quiz, and again, it limits the possibility of cheating. So what's the formula? Well, next you'll need to write a formula used to compute the correct answer. Just use the same names as listed above. So here we are. My formula for, it's going to be 3 plus x plus cow. And let's go ahead and save. And that result would equal 9. Yep, that seems like we did the right formula. That result would be 12. Well, 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 6 is 12. And again, that results 12, 11. And so you can tell that this is giving us the right answer. Finally, build as many variable solution combinations as you need to for your quiz. Well, I actually won't use that. So this is a great way to allow, generate at least one possible solution. Okay. Right. How this is going to work. So margin of error is 0. And so it auto-filled 10. So this means there's 10 possible solutions. But there is going to be more than 10. So let's try 50. And it's generating them here, right? And so that should probably cover all of our solutions. Update question. Great. So these are only 2 types of questions. What's another question we can add? All right, so new question. New question, multiple choice we've already done. Let's do true, false. Here's a true, false question. Is today a weekday, we'll say. Okay? True or false. If I want it to be false, I just click. Boom and boom. And then update question. If you want to add a photo on here, it's a bit complicated. I'm going to go ahead and put my cursor here, because I'm going to try to put it on this line. And now I'm going to click Embed Image. So you can use a URL, or you can use Canvas. To use Canvas, which is what I do, you have to actually upload a file. I'm going to go into my files, and you can see that I've already done this some. I'm going to hit Upload, though, to show you how. Once I click Upload, wow, I have a bunch of stuff with random code projects, so great. I'm going to use this, we'll say, and Upload. Success, and there's the name of the file. At this point, decorate image. Now I don't care too much about that. That all looks good to me. Update. And it will just drop it right in. Maybe I want to resize it. Maybe I want to try to center it. Things of this nature. and it will just allow me to put a photo right in with the question. So now let's hit update question on that. Okay. And at this point, we could add another question group. We could find questions from other saved questions if you have question banks as well. I'm going to go ahead and hit save though. And then the final step once you have completed your quiz, I have a perfect quiz, I love it. You can always preview it, right? By clicking preview, and that is looking good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and hit modules. And once I'm within modules, I'm going to add it to useful links. So I would hit plus. And instead of doing the assignment, I want a quiz. And here's my list of quiz, example quiz, add item, and here it is. You would need to hit this to publish. I'm not going to publish this right in this tutorial because my students would have a heart attack. I am going to go to example quiz, okay? And then I can click publish, I can preview, and I can edit it here. It also gives you a little bit of feedback about students who have taken that assignment. So it's somewhat straightforward. It's frustrating at first, but it's a really useful tool to master in Canvas.